When I decided to go back to school and ended up with a job at the Cancer Center working in oncology, I never in a million years dreamt that I'd end up taking care of my own dad.
My name's Dennis Anderson, and I live out by the Pomme de Terre Lake, and I'm retired. I was a Navy veteran. I spent the last year over in Da Nang, Vietnam, and then electrician for 35, 40 years, something like that.
My dad has COPD, so coughing for him was not anything out of the ordinary. So back in the spring of 2018, I had kind of noticed my dad's cough had changed a little bit, and I was concerned that maybe he needed to go see the doctor, but he's kind of stubborn.
And I was just weed eating, and like I normally do, and I felt a pop, a snap up here, and then my shoulder hurt real bad, you know. And then later that night, when I was reaching up for something off the shelf, I felt a snap about the same place. And I thought, well, I don't know what this is, but it hurt real bad. I mean, the nerves go down my shoulder.
And I was kind of thankful that it hurt bad enough for him to go to the doctor. All of that was really kind of a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I made an appointment with Kyla Inman, my nurse practitioner. And so she did x-rays right away. And the x-rays didn't show anything. I thought maybe it'd go away. I went back home and she gave me some pain pills to take. Anytime I moved my arm, my left arm, it hurt.
And she decided to do a CT scan on his shoulder. With the CT scan, they were able to find he had fractures, but the fractures were because his bone was weakened from cancer. At that point in time, we didn't really know he had cancer, so to speak, but she did call him on the phone on a Friday, Memorial Weekend Friday, and tell him that she had put in a referral for him to go see Dr. Leo. Knowing that the CT scan showed something that was suspicious enough for them to want Dr. Leo to see him, as a nurse, I knew that meant he had bone cancer. When cancer gets to the bone, it's automatically a stage 4. And in my experience, that's not a good thing. Usually stage 4 means, that's the end stage of cancer, essentially. And I have to tell you, it was probably the longest 3 days of my life waiting to get back to work on Tuesday so that I could talk to Dr. Leo myself. And then just knowing from that point on how our lives would be changing. So we're at lunch and I kind of start crying and he's like, "What's the matter? Are you okay?" And I said, "No, it's my dad." He's like, "What's wrong with your dad?" And I said, "My dad, they put a referral in for him to come and see you because he has something on his shoulder and it's probably cancer." So Dr. Leo says to me, "Can he come right now? I'll see him right now." And so I called my dad and said, "Dad, Dr. Leo said he'll see you now. Can you come now?" And so my dad was like, "Well, yeah, I guess so." So he comes on into the clinic. Dr. Leo sees my dad that afternoon. And by the next day, we've already got a plan in place and we're starting treatment. The initial staging that we had received from Dr. Leo, he had a tumor in his lung about the size of a tennis ball, his right lung. His left lung, we had a tumor about the size between a golf ball and tennis ball size, a couple grape-sized tumors and lots of multiple tumors in the lower lobes. So in my mind, I'm like, this is bad. This is so bad. Like, I'm thinking, okay, what are all the things I want to do with my dad in the next year and a half,
But anyway, they started me right away on the radiation treatments. So I come in every morning and they do radiation treatments all over on the bones and on the tumors and everything. We did that for like 2 weeks. And then right after that, they started the chemotherapy right away and really hit it hard. And it really made me sick for a while. But it was doing its job, so.
Being a nurse at the Cancer Center, It was great that my dad could be there and I could be there as he was getting his treatments. But also my heart was a little torn because I wanted to just sit right there, sit right there next to him like all the other family members do.
And that first chemo I had was like, I was in there for like 7 hours, sitting in that chair, and they'd go with one medicine right after the other. It was a little bit scary then, but not much I could do.
Here I am, a mom, the nurse. Now I'm my dad's caregiver. Plus there's me. What about me? So I felt very blessed at that time last year when my dad was going through chemotherapy to have my daughter and her roommate here at the house to help. My dad was so sick, I felt like he needed 24-hour care, and there's no way I could have stayed working at the cancer center if it hadn't been for them. They were able to work around their classes to go to the cancer center and sit with him while he was getting treatments. So I would get up in the morning, get lunches packed for my son, get ready for work, make sure the girls knew what time my dad's appointment was for the day, what times he got to come for chemotherapy, what time does he have a PET scan, all those different things that need to be done when you're diagnosed with cancer. And then now, seeing him and seeing how well he's doing, and just, I never would have imagined a year ago that we'd be where we are right now. And he's able to stay at home, and actually he told me a couple weeks back that he feels better now than he did a year ago. I knew that if my dad had to have cancer and had to be anywhere in the world, this is where he needed to be. I mean, this was the best place that he could be. I felt so blessed that he could come and be there and have Dr. Leo take care of him. So with the treatment plan that Dr. Leo had for my dad, he actually said there's about a 3% cure rate. So with my dad's case, he not only has gotten better, he's not cancer-free, but my dad's cancer has decreased significantly. He no longer has the cancer in his bone or in his lymph nodes. It's basically just in his lung. But here we are, just a little over a year later. My dad's most recent scan showed that he's got one tumor left, and it's about the size of a quarter. So basically the size of a tennis ball down to the size of a quarter. And he's living with lung cancer.
So let's live for the day, forget for a while. Remember all the reasons we should be smiling. Live every moment just as we know it. Let's do as you say. Live for every day.